Now on Sunrise and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com, control of Congress is still up for grabs and several key races still too close to call as results from the midterm election continue to roll in. And President Biden gave remarks on Tuesday's election from Washington, the president saying voters sent a clear message in Tuesday's midterms. Also, Tropical Storm Nicole reached hurricane strength Wednesday, making landfall overnight as a Category 1 storm along Florida's east coast.
Have foggy conditions on the outside. Let's take a look down on the coast here at Port Lavaca Nautical Landings Marina. Cooler temperatures on the way, definitely. Rain showers and thunderstorm chances also on the way. We'll talk about that in your forecast.
Shiner is a city of champions yet again, but not in a sport you'd expect. That's coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Carolina Astrain. Today is the 10th day of November 2022. The time is now 6:31 on your Thursday morning, and today is National Forget-Me-Not Day. Now, many of you may think that it's just like a poem or something that you do when you're plucking those petals off a flower, but actually it's a real flower. Trey, have you seen forget-me-nots?
I think I have, yes. A long time ago. It's a very interesting flower, of course. Nice, but don't forget about us. We won't forget you, of course. I got to try to think of something funny, but I can't do that. All right, we're looking at the dense fog advisory now for, of course, been hanging on to this for quite a while now, for Lavaca County, DeWitt, and Karnes counties. And we have zero visibilities there and also near Victoria currently. So please be careful driving out there. Low headlight beams, please. Maybe see further down the road and reduce that speed. Don't get in a hurry. We want you to arrive safely. Speaking of that, there's a live view from the Emerging Technology Complex. We're seeing cloudy skies there and a little bit of fog in the distance. 67 degrees currently in Victoria. Northerly winds now 5 miles per hour. And well, 3/4 of a mile visibility at Victoria Regional Airport with the dew points and the temperatures right at the same level. That's why we have fog this morning. That's the criteria for the fog to become visible, and it has this morning definitely. We're seeing anywhere from about 1 mile visibility or so in Goliad to Beeville to Victoria, where it's 2 mile visibility is currently at the airport. A little bit less visibility is down to 1 mile or so in parts of DeWitt County and down in Goliad County as well. And by 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning, the fog has evaporated away now that the heating of the day has begun, and 12-mile visibility is everywhere you go throughout the rest of the day today. And temperatures starting off in the 60s to near 70 degrees, 80s by the afternoon time, and then we're starting off tomorrow morning with low temperatures in the 70s and maybe a few upper 60s as well. But late in the day for your Friday, the cold air makes its way down here, and we start the chill down process. We'll give you the details on that in your full forecast to come. Carolina?
The outcomes in many key midterm races remain up in the air. Remains unclear which party will control the House and the Senate. Votes are still being counted, including in Senate races in Nevada and Arizona, and the Senate race in Georgia between Raphael Warnock and Herschel Walker is headed for a runoff. But Democrats had a better midterm than expected, including a big win for John Fetterman in Pennsylvania. Republican Greg Abbott won re-election Tuesday night for his third term as governor of Texas. Governor Abbott dominated the voting in the Crossroads, taking 73% of the votes in Victoria County, 76% in Calhoun, 85% in DeWitt, 90% in Lavaca. More of the same for the governor in Jackson County, winning 87% of the vote, while in Goliad County, 79% of voters cast their ballots for Abbott. Calhoun County voters re-elected Hope Kurtz to her 5th term as Justice of the Peace in Precinct 1. Kurtz won the only contested race in the county with 68.6% of votes to 31.4% for challenger Democrat Luis Rubio. Rubio said the race was run clean and professionally. Republican incumbent Mike Bennett received 57% of the votes cast to defeat Democrat challenger Mary Ellen Flores in the race for the Goliad County Judge's office. Bennett wins his 2nd term as Goliad County Judge. The president took a moment to tout his party's midterm successes Wednesday, saying voters sent a clear message about issues such as democracy and abortion rights. President Biden also vowed to work across the aisle to continue pushing his agenda forward, no matter who ends up controlling the House or Senate. We'll go to Washington for the latest on the midterm election later on Sunrise. Leading us to your viewer poll. What party did you vote under in the general election? Let's take a look at what y'all are saying. 56% of you say Republican and 36% of you say Democrat. 8% of you say you did not vote. Come to crosswordstoday.com/vote to take part in our viewer poll. And you can also scan the QR code right there on your screen to take part. Hurricane Nicole has begun to batter the Florida coast. Crews are already out in force checking dunes for damage and preparing for emergency rescues. The storm's winds so far have peaked at 75 miles per hour with plenty of rain and possible storm surge. The storm is expected to head into Georgia and the Carolinas later today and Friday. Now to some truly wild scenes from LA. A suspect fleeing police in several vehicles, putting countless lives in jeopardy along the way.
This morning, a man finally in custody after a chaotic chase in Los Angeles.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Our LA station's helicopter catching up with the chase just before 5 p.m. Authorities in pursuit of the suspect in a dark sedan after he refused to pull over for a traffic violation. He then drives to an apartment complex where he steals this white van.
Now he's created some room to escape here.
The suspect managing to slip by police and speed away. The driver speeding erratically, hitting other cars, sparks flying after the van lost a tire. The suspect then running from the van after it overheated.
As he gets out of the vehicle, crawls out of the passenger window, and is now running for it.
He then enters a home nearby where he was confronted by the owners.
Look at this. Look at this. A confrontation.
After a scuffle, he steals the truck parked in the driveway, nearly hitting the residents and their dogs as he speeds away.
Look at this. He just stole the. Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness.
The residents and their pets luckily all okay. The suspect then weaving through traffic, hitting more vehicles before crashing into a gas station after deputies hit the truck from behind.
Look at this. Ramming into the front end. They're shooting. They're shooting at him.
The driver then staying in the truck as police swarm in and open fire.
Deadly force is being employed at this moment to try and stop this.
Just after 6 p.m., police break the window of the truck, pull the suspect out, and finally take him into custody. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
The original traffic violation that began the chase was failure to yield. A Hallettsville police officer caught up with a wanted man while on patrol late Tuesday. The man was wanted out of Caldwell County on an active felony warrant. Officers caught up with the man in the 800 block of South Promenade Street and arrested him. During the arrest, just over 5 ounces of crystal methamphetamine were found, along with a digital scale with clear baggies. The man was arrested on his outstanding warrant and for manufacturing and delivery of a controlled substance. Okay, get your cell phone, scan this QR code. It's our quick response code to download the Crosswords Today app. You can get breaking news alerts, vote on our viewer poll, get the latest news, weather, and sports, and learn all about our ongoing contest right there on the app. Submit those news tips and photos. The time is now 6:38 on your Thursday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise. Captain Kenny Jones with the Salvation Army of Victoria says they need your help more now than ever.
As midterm ballots are still being counted, President Biden says he's watching the country's closest races and acknowledges voters sent Washington a message. I'm ABC's Justin Finch with his reaction and the latest ahead.
Take a look at the bus stop forecast one more time for the kiddos today. Brisk cool for school, 67 degrees at the bus stops this morning. And then by the time you return home, 3:30 in the afternoon, well into the mid-80s. Stay cool, everybody. What about the weekend? We're trying to stay warm. From one extreme to the other. We'll talk about that in your forecast.
In Texas, the future belongs to everyone, so we created the truck of the future for everyone. Ford F-150. With an available 12-inch touchscreen and interior work surface, it puts the world at your fingertips. Because the truck of the future isn't created for just a few. It's for Texas. Ford F-150. Drive one today. Choose in stock or custom order your F-150 and lock in $3,900 for $60 plus $500 cash plus complimentary maintenance. See your Ford dealer.
Ford is the best in Texas.
Have you been told you have to live with your wound? There is hope at PAM Outpatient Wound Care. At PAM Outpatient Wound Care Clinic, you'll find the latest technology and the most committed and caring professionals dedicated to your wound healing. Our experienced wound healing experts and multidisciplinary team specialize in preventing amputation and preserving limbs.
I began hyperbarics here. I'm walking and have the leg, which is the best part.
Come see us at Pam Outpatient Wound Care, where healing starts here.
When our law firm takes your case, it becomes part of our world. Everyone at the firm works together as a team to get the job done.
We work with each other. We go to trial together.
We're the ones that wake up in the middle of the night thinking about what to do next on a case. That's our job. That's what we're here for.
We help each other on cases, and that's why we get the results that we do.
We are members of this community, and when a member of this community trusts us with their case, we take that trust very seriously.
Good morning, 641. Let's take a look at the wind speeds today, starting off near calm, increasing in velocity, bringing that moisture in off the Gulf of Mexico by the afternoon time, 10 to 15 miles per hour. And let's run this through your Friday. That wind scenario still continues, but look to the north. There's the frontal boundary right there. Easy to pick that out with 2 o'clock, getting near Gonzales. And moving through Victoria, looks like about 6 o'clock or so in the evening. Winds turning around the north. Gusty, cold air coming in. We'll have sustained winds over 20 to 25 miles per hour, gusts over 30 miles per hour or so behind the front. And that's just bringing in that cold air for the weekend. So get prepared for that. And rain chances very small today, about 20% is all. But if we move on through on your Friday, the front moves through and the chance of rain continue to build at that time. Could have anywhere from an inch to a half an inch of rain, depending on where you are. There is a marginal risk of severe weather for your day tomorrow. So we'll take a look at that. And your timeline for the front and temperatures, what will they be? All for you a little bit later on in this half hour. Carolina?
Thank you, Trey. The Shiner Marching Band reaches the highest honor in the state. 25 News Now Sports Director Gino Perez has that and more in sports.
Howdy Crossroads, the Shiner Comanches are champions yet again. They are the 2022 State Marching Band champions. The announcement came late Tuesday night as the Comanches performed last at 9 o'clock. The band performed at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, and the band has experience playing in front of big crowds and in clutch moments since they have been there every step of the way for the Shiner football team, which has won back-to-back state championships. 10 area high school football players have made the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Whataburger Super Team ballot. Leading off the group are 2 all-state running backs, Ruben Owens of El Campo and Dalton Brooks of Shiner. 5 Goliad players are on the ballot, including running back Braylon Perry, defensive back Colby Rosenquist, running back Joseph Council, quarterback J.P. Reyes, and offensive lineman Colton Duvall. From Cuero, quarterback Mason Notaro and linebacker Zyler Jones made the ballot, as did industrial quarterback Ashton Garza. That's your 25 Sports Now.
We want to invite you to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and on your cell phone. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. Now to the latest on the midterm election at this hour. Ballots across the country are still being counted, and the final results will decide the balance of power on Capitol Hill. So far, Democrats are outperforming expectations, while many Republicans are wondering what happened to that predicted red wave.
At the White House, President Biden giving his read on the midterms and Democrats' surprise successes.
We lost fewer seats in the House of Representatives than any Democratic president's first midterm election in the last 40 years.
Biden calling the results a good day for democracy and acknowledging voters nationwide sent a clear message.
I'm prepared to work with my Republican colleagues. The American people have made clear, I think, that they expect Republicans to be prepared to work with me as well.
Across the aisle, many wondering why the Republican red wave some predicted never appeared.
The numbers have been amazing so far.
Former President Donald Trump on election night insisting candidates he backed did great, despite many being projected to lose. But Republicans who either stood up to Trump or never sought his support found success, including re-elected Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
Thank you for a historic landslide victory.
The mail will continue to process every day.
Out west, Nevada and Arizona are still processing thousands of ballots. The results are crucial to determining control of the House and Senate.
There will be a runoff.
Georgia's dead heat Senate race between incumbent Democrat Raphael Warnock and Republican Herschel Walker now heads to a December 6th runoff election.
We always knew that this race would be close.
If you can hang in there a little bit longer.
With more days of ballot counting ahead, even the president is in suspense.
It's a moving target right now, but it's going to be very close.
And all eyes on a potential upset in Colorado, where firebrand House Republican Lauren Boebert faces a tight race against Democrat Adam Frisch. The two at one point separated by fewer than 100 votes, with nearly all ballots counted. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
Captain Kenny Jones with the Salvation Army of Victoria says during this upcoming Christmas season, your help is needed more than ever. Captain Kenny says the rising cost of living has put many people in financial hardship, which in turn causes our Salvation Army here in Victoria to struggle to keep up with the need. That's why Captain Kenny is asking everyone to give this Christmas season so they can continue to help everyone that needs it.
The economy right now is very tough, and it's that much more important that we need your help, because when the economy's doing great, folks aren't worried about putting a few bucks in the kettle. But when gasoline is, $4 a gallon, and when their utilities are going up, and when the cost of their food is going up, it's hard.
Captain Kenny says the red kettles will go out within the next week. If you're interested in helping out, visit our website, crossroadstoday.com. The drive is the organization's main fundraiser for the year. The time is now 6:46 on your Thursday morning. Still to come, a North Carolina county is getting a big boost from the tech industry.
If you paid more for your car insurance this year than last year, give us a call at Fred Loya Insurance or visit us at fredloya.com.
My insurance rates went up more than 50%. That's when I call Fred Loya.
My insurance went up over $100 a month. That's $1,200 a year. So I called Fred Loya Insurance.
If you think you're paying too much for your car insurance, or if your renewal rates have gone up, start paying less and call or visit us online at fredloya.com.
No payments until after Valentine's Day at Victoria Dodge. That's right, buy now and pay later at Victoria Dodge. Get a gobble good deal, like $8 off Durangos, and have money to buy your turkey for Thanksgiving. Get $14 off Ram trucks and have money for Christmas presents. $14 off. Or get 1.9% on Wagoneers. 1.9%. Don't make a car payment until February. Only at Victoria Dodge, VictoriaDodge.com. $14 off Rams, VictoriaDodge.com.
In this morning's GMA First Look, vacation tragedy. The families of 4 tourists killed by carbon monoxide poisoning in 2 different Mexico City vacation rentals demanding answers.
This can't happen anymore.
Authorities say Americans Candace Florence, Jordan Marshall, and Cortez Hall were all found dead in their Airbnb rental on October 30th. Not far away, another tourist, Angelica Arce, also found dead in her vacation rental. Their families saying all 4 died of carbon monoxide poisoning. Detectors are not mandatory in Mexico City, but given how cheap and simple they are, the families who lost loved ones are asking why.
We will fight to make sure that mandates are implemented so no other family has to deal with this.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have the potentially life-saving tips to keep you safe on vacation. With your GMA First Look, I'm Matt Rivers, ABC News, Mexico City.
And now it's time for today's question of the day. This famous children's show debuted on this date back in 1969. What is it? Like us on Facebook, Crossroads Today. Post your guess to today's question and we'll have the answer later on Sunrise.
Yes, get your answer in. In a few minutes we'll be telling you what the answer is. We want to hear from you. It's not too difficult a question, but there's a lot to choose from, so think about it and get your answer in. And we're going to weather now. Temperature is upper 60s to under 70 currently, and 80s by the afternoon time. Be careful out there because of the fog this morning, especially fog advisories over northern counties until 9 a.m. And the temperatures take a tumble late in the day tomorrow. The day today, about 84, 85 degrees with passing clouds time to time, maybe a passing rain shower or two. Rain chances maximize on your day tomorrow after 12 noon or so when the front gets closer to us. 84 degrees today, partly cloudy skies, isolated rain shower somewhere. Overnight lows in the 67-degree range. Areas of fog again could be happening. And tomorrow, cloudy skies. Most of the day will be in the 80s. By the afternoon time, 4 or 5 o'clock, the temperatures begin to fall. Rain likely at that time, especially could be risk of severe weather. Is a marginal risk of severe weather. That means alert day for us. Turning colder by Friday night into Saturday. Lows in the 40s with highs only near 60 degrees for Saturday and Sunday.
North Carolina County is getting a big boost from the tech industry. Microsoft plans to develop 4 data centers in a North Carolina county over the next 10 years. The tech company is investing at least $1 billion for the centers. In return, it will receive tax breaks in the form of economic development grants from the county and 3 cities. A new study shows older people who receive food stamps experience slower declines to their cognitive abilities. Scientists found seniors who utilize the SNAP program get about 2 years of improved brain health over those who are eligible but don't receive the assistance. Anyone eligible to enroll in SNAP is generally considered at high risk of poor brain aging due to financial insecurity. Interestingly, study participants using food stamps had lower memory scores at the start of the study than those not receiving them, but over the course of several years, their memories declined more slowly. Researchers believe it's due to better nutrition and food security. Fewer than half of people at least 60 years old who are eligible for food stamps enroll in the program. Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. A 9-month-old infant shot and killed Wednesday afternoon in California.
This morning, Michael Strahan journeys into the snowy frontier live, getting in close with polar bears. See how the climate crisis is changing their world. The extraordinary journey happens live this morning on Good Morning America.
The free 2022 Hurricane Tracking Guides are here. Each guide has critical information to protect you and your family before and after the storm. The 25 News Now Hurricane Tracking Guides are brought to you by these sponsors: Full Pep, El Campo Cycle Center, Palace Bingo, Seguin RV, Oak Creek Homes, and Bravo Honda. You can get your up-to-date coordinates to track the storm every day on crossroadstoday.com or from the 25 News Now Storm Team. Download the free Crossroads Today app and get your weather now.
Today on Around Texas, we connect with a Corpus Christi dance instructor that broke her neck in a devastating accident and then overcame her paralysis in order to continue doing what she loves most. We'll also spotlight the Texas Sea Grant program at Texas A&M, educating the public and even shaping public policy to benefit coastal communities and launch new industries.
Your leukemia is now in stage 4.
I'm so scared.
Michael does not need to know anything.
You couldn't wait to stir that pot.
What's going on?
General Hospital on ABC.
And now it's time for today's question of the day. This famous children's show debuted on this date back in 1969. What is it? All right, Trey. I think many of us want to know Mary Helen, Melanie, Janet, Patricia, Deborah, Angel, Horace, Heidi, Beth, and Kitchens. Can you tell us how to get to Sesame Street, Trey?
Let's see. You have to go through Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Just joking. The answer is Sesame Street. Of course, classic. Got Grover, Big Bird, all them good characters.
Washing those clouds away, Trey.
They certainly are, and we'll see our clouds increasing, of course, a little bit later on that. But thank you for answering the question of the day. We appreciate that. Stay tuned for tomorrow, Friday, for your question of the day then to get your weekend started off right.
A 9-month-old infant was shot and killed Wednesday afternoon in California. Officers arrived at the scene to find the baby, Darius King Grigsby, suffering from at least one gunshot wound. Officers learned through their investigation the baby was shot after the suspect approached the parents on the street and opened fire. The parents rushed their child to a nearby McDonald's to call for help. Their child was then taken to a local hospital where he would succumb to his injuries. Officials continuing to look for the suspect but have not yet identified them. A third person who reportedly died from carbon monoxide poisoning at a Mexican Airbnb is identified. 33-year-old Cortez Hall was a 7th grade social studies teacher in New Orleans. It's unclear exactly when Hall died, but his sister, Tanika Hall, told CNN her family first learned of her brother's death after a call from the U.S. Embassy in Mexico on October 31st. Hall said the U.S. Embassy told them they found her brother and 2 other people unresponsive in an Airbnb in Mexico City. The family still working with officials to bring Hall's body home. A GoFundMe account was started to help the family of Diego Martinez. Martinez, an 18-year-old Victoria West High School student, was killed in a one-vehicle crash Monday night. Police say the vehicle was traveling southbound on Main Street at a high speed and lost control, moving to the east before flipping over. China's National Health Commission reporting almost 9,000 locally transmitted COVID-19 cases from Wednesday, the highest daily tally of local infections since April 30th of this year. The country's major cities are battling a rebound in infections. On Wednesday, Guangzhou recorded over 3,000 locally transmitted cases, while Chongqing reported over 750. More than 1 million residents in Chongqing are told not to leave the city unless absolutely necessary. Victoria County's Public Health Department administering flu shots on Tuesdays and Thursdays, starting at 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. and on Thursday, additionally, between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. It's $35. Medicare is accepted. And for more information, call 361-578-6281, option 3. 25 News Now sports director Gino Perez got to help at an event in Victoria Wednesday afternoon. It was Texas Arbor Day, and the Parks and Recreation Department invited residents to plant trees at the Victoria RV Park on Vine Street. Gino helped plant a crepe myrtle tree, and they also had willows and a pine tree ready to plant. Texas celebrates Arbor Day on the first Friday of November, increasing awareness of the benefits and value of the trees. We want to invite you to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and on your cell phone. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. Let's take another look at our viewer poll before we turn to Trey. Today we asked, what party did you vote under in the general election? 55% of you say Republican, 38% of you say Democrat, and 7% of you didn't vote. Better luck next time, you better make it. And let's get that check of our forecast with Trey. It's gonna get chilly Friday.
Exactly, yes, big chill down by then. Not today though, 84 degrees for the high, partly cloudy skies, obviously the rain shower. Some fog in the overnight, fog this morning. Fog advisory in northern counties until 9 o'clock, 67 degrees in the overnight tonight. Highs tomorrow, we'll get about 82 degrees. The front moves through in the second half of the day after 12 noon or so to about 4 or 5 o'clock actually. With a risk of severe weather, marginal risk, we have an alert day for your day tomorrow. It is Veterans Day, and the temperatures tumble. We wake up on Saturday morning with lows in the 40s. Rather chilly times coming up. Another reinforcing surge of cool air with the next front on Monday. Carolina?
Thank you, Trey, and thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful Thursday, and come to crossroadstoday.com for more local news, weather, and sports. And join James, Karina, Dawn, Howie, and Gino today for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10 to make it a great Thursday.